Goddamn.
Man, goddamn is right. Goddamn is right, man. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of NHP, another edition of the news, man. This is episode 231 of the news, and with that, man, how is everybody doing here on this fine Friday evening? Um, yeah, man. Yeah, how's everybody doing, man? We got a bunch of news here today for you guys, bro. As always, and very interesting pieces of news here today. We got news on AEW and their potential upcoming TV deal, and what that will entail. And then with that, man, we also got news on SmackDown, bro. We got news on Def fucking Rebel. But actually, this is the most positive piece of Def Rebel news I think we've ever came out with. So we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about, or ever talked about rather. And we got news on Saturday night's main event, bro. Miro just dropping today. Miro requesting his release from AEW, man. WWE giving John Cena a wish list. And man, dude, we got a bunch of news here today for you guys, bro. And Bell, oh brother. Dude, man, I don't know what is going on ever since the Dynamite after All Out, All In, sorry. Ever since the Dynamite after All In, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to
No.
this show. I genuinely I do not know what happened to AEW Dynamite following their biggest and most successful show of the year, All In. I don't know what happened. I genuinely do not know what happened to the show. So I appreciate the comment, Bell, because that is a precursor to everything we are going to talk about on Monday. Tony, blow your load, Khan.
Yep. It's insane how much he does that, man, and how much the quality just went back down with AEW Dynamite, dude. It's constant.
Man, I don't understand. I do not understand, bro. I really don't. I really don't understand it, but yeah, man. So with that, man, if this is your first time watching, guys, you don't know how the show works. Every Monday, we're on here after Monday Night Raw with Unscripted, and every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news, man. Also, if this is your first time watching, and you guys, oh, I just botched that shit out of that. If you guys did miss this past Monday's edition of Unscripted, that is, did the season premiere of SmackDown on USA deliver? That is episode 213 of Unscripted. That is available for you guys on all platforms. That is Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every Monday after Monday Night Raw for Unscripted, man. Also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, where you can get the brand new, the newest piece of NHP merch. I was going to say that we're almost about 2 months past the rebrand. If that does not, God, time flies, bro. Well,
It does.
yes, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on the newest piece of NHP merchandise, you guys can now pick it up live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man. And with that, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just been chilling out,
Mm.
man. Been pretty normal. Just waiting for things to just waiting for things, man. Waiting for bad blood. Waiting for things to get fixed. Just playing, the 2024 waiting game. Feel like that's all 2024 is, but I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just been chilling, man. I'm excited for today. I'm excited for, you know, these upcoming weeks, man. But like Durante always says, or always ask, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing in the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking, as always, bro. But I'm doing good, man. Doing good, bro. Just chilling, bro. Chilling, trying to, yeah, just trying to, yeah, just same thing you are, bro. Trying to get through this cesspool of a year, personally. Trying to get
Oh,
through
yeah.
this, yeah, again, this monstrosity of a year. So yeah, that's that, bro. But other than that, man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, doing good, bro. Can't complain. All I can do is try to get through, bro. So, yes, yeah, doing all right, bro. Doing all right, but yeah, man. So, yeah, that's about it. But as Durant, that's about it for me at least. But as Durante always asks, man, I am great. Family's great, man. And what about you, Durante? Logan, Bell, whether you guys are here now or a part of the Replay Mafia, my boys JT and JB, thank you guys for being here. And yeah, man, if there's any new faces, man, welcome to NHG, bro. So thank you guys for joining us as always, bro. Um, man, man, wow. So there's a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot that's been happening in the world of wrestling in the past week, and a lot of just crazy stuff has been dropping as we're going to start you guys off with one of the more crazier pieces of news to come out of the past week, and this actually came out yesterday, which is just man, the crazy to think about, and obviously there's a bunch of talking points to talk about, and obviously we're gonna get to that, but starting you guys off, man, with a story from WrestleVotes. This dropped yesterday, man. SmackDown, SmackDown on USA will be given an extra hour on the USA Network when Raw moves to Netflix in January 2025. Okay. So, man, that right there is just insane news. So, wow. How are you feeling about this, man? How are you feeling about this? And do you think this is good for SmackDown? Do you think this is bad for SmackDown? What do you think this means for Friday nights, man? Because this is huge.
It's very scary. It is, because right now in SmackDown's current state, with their current roster, 3 hours sounds like a nightmare. I mean, a 2 hour episode without the bloodline, even with the bloodline, is that's a watch. 3 hours. Imagine a 3 hour current SmackDown, but without the bloodline, and they're not on the show. What is the show? You know what I mean? So I'm always a less is more person. I would rather have both shows be 2 hours and you delegate your time better, and you sometimes don't put people on the show. Not everybody needs to be on every episode of television and every pay-per-view. It's okay to miss people. It's okay to not use people, but in every week. But they're going the 3 hour route, and I'm not crazy for it. It's not a route I would do. I don't think it's a route that's going to be necessarily bad. I think if they delegate rosters and get more people and call people up, it can work. But it's definitely not what I would be doing personally.
Definitely, man, definitely, and that is a valid point, man. The only okay, so when I first heard this, so obviously there's not going to be a draft until after. There's not going to be a draft until after WrestleMania. So right
Mhm.
there, the news that we have for you guys, I don't the next piece of news we have for you guys obviously comes into play a little bit, but just to talk about for the at least amount of time SmackDown will be 3 hours. If there's no sort of draft, this is absolutely stupid because the
Mhm.
show is again, even with the bloodline is a rough watch because it's bloodline, which some weeks isn't even the most, crazy thing, which is fine. I mean, they can't have cinema every single week, but at the end of the day,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, the weeks where the Bloodline is doing a segment that is kind of just, just a bye week almost, where it's kind of just, it's not, again, it's not cinema, which is fine, The weeks that happens, SmackDown is basically unwatchable. It is. It's basically an unwatchable show. And then when you mix the weeks where Bloodline is doing great stuff on the show, it is a drag until you get to the Bloodline segment that you're waiting for. It is me sitting around like this. If I do end up being able to watch a show, it's me sitting around like this for an hour and 40 minutes until,
The
Solo's
Bloodline
music
segment.
hits, or until the GOAT Tongaloa walks out. It is a bore. It's a bore. So if you want to add 3 hours to what you currently have now,
Horrifying.
man, that sounds like a fucking nightmare. That sounds like a nightmare. It sounds like an absolute nightmare. I mean, again, could they, could there be but see, the thing that I'm thinking about is the components that they're going to maybe add to the show. Is it going to garner 3 hours? Probably not. But if I'm thinking of things WWE can add to the show, well, there's a women's mid-card title that we have a story
That
about.
one's obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a story about that. We have a story about that to go over in a little bit. So that's obviously something. They can put well, the women Jade and Bianca are the women's tag team champions. So I'm assuming we'll just be seeing a lot more of them over there. And the only other thing I could think about is they're gonna call a bunch of people up, which there is people you can call up. You're gonna
Yeah.
call a bunch of people up. Either that, or you're going to take a bunch of people from AEW and put them immediately on the main roster. Obviously, the Lucha Bros, we know the Lucha Bros are going to the main roster. They put it in their contract. They didn't want to go to NXT. I don't see Motor City Machine Guns being down there too long. I don't see them being down there too long, so I could see them being put on SmackDown, even though, which is spirals into a whole nother problem, because the tag division on Monday Night Raw needs help too.
Mm-hmm.
That's at 3 hours. That division is fucking starving for a tag team. And starving. And now you're putting the factor of putting that same amount of stress on that on the Raw tags division to the SmackDown tags division, and SmackDown's tag division is starving just as much as Raw's tag team division is.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't necessarily look at that as an option, because now both shows are going to be 3 hours. So either you're going to have to sign a bunch of people, or you're going to have to call a bunch of people up. Which, I don't know how that's going to go. In terms of, I mean, man, it does not, it does, I don't see, I just don't see I don't see I don't see a world where that works out good. I don't see a world where that
No.
works out good. Unless, like I said, WWE's going to go through some drastic, roster expansion, which again could be the case. But I mean, Monday Night Raw has been at 3 hours, and WWE hasn't really shown you that they want to fill all 3 hours with captivating television. Because even though Raw is the best show of the week, we still do get our loads of garbage on Monday Night Raw, right? We get our Final Testaments, and we get our pure fusion collections, and we get our, just random, just
Nothing.
Akira Tozawa matches, and we just we get those. You know what I mean? So if you're going, if you're going to have a roster expansion, we probably need to trim a lot of the pieces on these rosters that are your nothing parts of the show. Which again, everybody can't be the main act on the show. So again, like I said, I don't see a world where having 2 3 hour shows goes well, because SmackDown is a bore at 2 hours, and Monday Night Raw some weeks can be great at 3 hours. Some
Mhm.
weeks you don't even feel like it's 3 hours. Some weeks you feel like you've been watching the show for an hour and a half and it's 9:50. You know what I mean? So, but then there's other
Mhm.
weeks where it does feel like a 3 hour watch, and then again, there are some weeks where it does kind of drag on a little bit and it is a pretty boring show, as not all shows could be great, but so I again, I don't see a world where this goes well, even if there is some sort of roster expansion. If you do want to expand your roster, you're going to have to release some people, but I think a 2 hour show is the best way to go. Even having a 3 hour Monday Night Raw is okay. You know what I mean? I mean, again, I mean, would I prefer it to be 2 hours? Sure. But I mean, I think where we're at now, like I said, there's some weeks where the show don't even feel like 3 hours. But that's Monday Night Raw. They have heavy hitters on the show. SmackDown does not have the level of roster that Monday Night Raw has. SmackDown has CM Punk, Gunther, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, Dragunov. They have Finn Balor. They got Damian Priest. They got again, they have a lot of people. SmackDown, when it comes to your heavy hitters, Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, and obviously Roman Reigns. Is that going to be enough to carry you through 3 hours? I don't think so.
Oh,
Again, and even if you do call people up, again, I mean that could be a way around it, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to really push those call ups on the level of Braun Breaker or Gunther levels of call up, so you can get them to the point that a Cody Rhodes, an LA Knight, a Roman Reigns are at. You know, um,
and the thing is about SmackDown, no matter who you call up, none of them can go for the world title until probably after Mania, because again, it's hogged up by a major storyline. Cody's keeping that thing till The Rock beats him. So nobody can go touch that world title for a while still.
yeah, definitely, definitely, man. So yeah, I mean it sparks a whole nother slew of problems. Again, when you bring that into account, yeah, I'm tired. And this is why I'm so tired. I'm so tired of these titles being, when Roman had the belt and when he had the belt after WrestleMania 39, it was, well, he's got to hold it a year until this guy gets to him. Cody gets the belt, and instead of him dropping it to a guy who's going to be a future star of the company, now we got to wait a year so Cody can drop the belt to this guy. And then once The Rock gets the belt, what's it going to be then? Well, now The Rock's got to hold the belt for another year until this guy can get the belt. Like, dude, we need to stop holding the championships so hostage, bro. We need to stop holding these championships hostage. Again, nobody can eat. Nobody can eat, and people need to eat. People will starve.
Mhm.
And these rosters,
Exactly.
especially the SmackDown roster, is starving. It's starving. As for Monday Night Raw, they're in a bit better of a situation because although their champions are dominant champions and their champions are guys where you say, well, they could hold the belt for a while, we're not in a situation with Gunther and Braun Breaker where you say to yourself, well, they need to hold on to the title until WrestleMania 43 so this guy can take the belt from them. And realistically,
No, I
they could drop the belt at any time. They could. But the thing with
Mhm.
Cody
Well,
is it's The Rock. We know The Rock's got that political power, and you know that belt isn't going anywhere. And you also know Cody isn't really going to be doing anything, isn't going to be facing anybody substantial until The Rock is in front of him. You know what I mean? I mean, again, there is maybe Orton, but at the end of the day, I overall, the way we're looking, bro, I honestly don't even know if that feud with Orton happens. And if it does happen, I could see it happening around maybe the beginning of the year and it being maybe something just kind of on the Royal Rumble undercard that is just kind of
well,
something, because at the end of the day, The only pay-per-view we got coming up left is Survivor Series. That is a big pay-per-view where Cody could defend the title in a big marquee situation against Randy Orton. If it's the Royal Rumble, it's going to be on the undercard. If it's the Elimination Chamber, everybody's going to be looking towards WrestleMania anyway. So, and at Survivor
Exactly.
Series, I don't even
I
at
think
this
Cody's
point,
gonna be in the War Games match at that point.
I was going to say I see Cody teaming up with the OG Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
So, again,
I feel like that. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean the championship situation is very clogged up. But again, I mean at least with Gunther and Braun Breaker, I mean they could lose I mean probably not. They're probably not going to lose the championships, tomorrow, but at the end of the day, we're not holding either of these guys' reigns hostage for one particular person, you know.
No, exactly. On Raw, you have the opportunity for someone to just, at the end of the day, they can just win it and move on. But with SmackDown, Cody, you have Cody and The Rock, all that shit. Cody's probably not gonna, have a singles title defense till after Summer or SummerSlam, doing it already. Survivor Series. So it's gonna be tough to do that show at 3 hours. It's gonna be really tough.
Yeah, it absolutely is, man. It absolutely is, and I really, I mean, unless The Rock, and I mean that could be another. You know what? Now that I think about it, that could be another reason. What was The Rock notorious for when he was on television, taking up the first hour of the show with his segment?
Hmm.
So if you take his hour, you're still leaving a whole nother 2 hours for your regularly scheduled SmackDown programming. Now that I say that, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, 100%. It's basically going to be catered for The Rock and shit like that to where, you got The Rock segment and then SmackDown, essentially.
Yep, The Rock's going to open the show and he's going to notoriously take his hour for his hour-long segment, and then the actual regularly scheduled programming of a 2-hour SmackDown is going to be on
Begin.
top of that extra hour. That makes a lot of fucking sense. That does make a
Oh,
lot of
100.
sense. Oh, Roman does too. And Roman and The Rock together? I mean, we seen it. These guys were taking an hour and 10 minutes out of the fucking broadcast and on SmackDown. People were pissed about that. So now that I say that, that makes a lot of sense, especially with the next story we're going to go over about SmackDown. WrestleVotes Radio, via Sportskeeda's Backstage Pass Patreon, stated that the 3 hours of SmackDown is temporary. And the plan is for the show to go back to 2 hours in 6 months, sometime in June. Joey from WrestleVotes said something else we wanted to touch on quickly. When we mentioned that SmackDown will be moving to 3 hours, as of right now, the chatter internally is that Raw is that only for 6 months. 3 hours is gonna start in January when Raw moves to 3 hours on Netflix. The plan right now is that 6 months down the road, SmackDown goes back to 2 hours. Things can change, and if USA is happy with the Friday night numbers, there's always a chance that they will offer WWE more money to keep the show at 3 hours. With WrestleMania season kicking off in January, the 3 hours might be a way to fit more into the shows, especially with big names returning like The Rock and John Cena. What did I just fucking say? Um,
Yep. It's the whole reason. The fact that you just told me it's going to be a temporary, at least so far, temporary 6 months, is literally just for The Rock and like probably some Messina for the farewell tour. That's all it's going to be. And the only thing that scares me about that is I hope because I'm sure I'm sure it'll perform good, with The Rock, and then you got SmackDown essentially, like we said. I hope they don't get that and get the good numbers from that and think, oh, okay, yeah, we could do 3 hours, let's do it. And when The Rock is gone, it's just absolute ass of 3 hours. I hope they don't do that. But the fact that it's most likely just temporary is just the most for The Rock and the part timers thing in the world.
especially because last year people's main complaint was
Mhm.
you are taking away build time in WrestleMania season from new stars. So, but the thing is, if
Yeah.
they did mention things could change, and if USA likes the 3 hours, then they'll probably keep him. And just a friendly reminder, USA is a major component of Raw being at 3 hours. They wanted Raw at 3 hours. So this could very well be a case of USA wants SmackDown at 3 hours because they like, the extra numbers if it brings them in, a substantial amount of extra money or whatever, extra revenue, then they could absolutely keep it at that. They absolutely could. And so that is something to be quite concerned about. But honestly, the whole reason I think that they're doing this is because they need The Rock to get his hour of segment,
Mhm.
and then the regular 2 hours of SmackDown starts. And then obviously that will go away shortly after a couple months after WrestleMania season. So that's what it's looking like.
That is, dude. That is. I think that's their plan, and I hope it is temporary, man. Because a permanent 3 hours of SmackDown, I do not think is a good decision.
No, 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 no. Again, which, like I said, man, even with the roster expansion, not a good idea. If you want to expand your roster, I'm sorry, it's an unfortunate part of the business. Just you gotta cut people because
You
there's
gotta cut them.
people, there's not enough people that are there's too much people that are nauseating television for you to be roster hoarding. So yeah, don't pull a Tony Khan here. We see how that worked out for him. Do not overcrowd the roster.
No, 100%. Do not do that. And just go accordingly, man. Don't Tony Khan your shit.
Absolutely. Call up accordingly. Call up when you have plans. Stick to the plan and do your thing. Don't try to overcrowd the roster because the show is at 3 hours, because at the end of the day, it'll probably look like dynamite in a matter of 6 weeks. So,
Exactly.
well, speaking of one of the big names, people are speculating the SmackDown move to 3 hours for John Cena, the GOAT. Well, John Cena, according to WrestleVotes, John Cena has been given a wish list of some sorts of who he wants to work with during his farewell tour in 2025. And with that, there is a specific name that is very high on WWE's list for a list of potential opponents for Cena. They say a potential match with Logan Paul has been speculated about, as both sides have spoken highly of each other. Paul had previously made headlines noting on his Impulsive podcast he wants the match with Cena. The WrestleVotes radio co-host Joey noted that on the first episode that within WWE Creative, both parties are 100% interested. Both parties are 100% interested in the potential big money match with the two stars, with two big time stars who most people know. WrestleVotes added that Paul's name is definitely high on the list. Scene, how's it going, bro? Thank you for joining us,
How you
man.
doing, man? Thank you. Thank you for joining us, man.
So obviously, I can see why Logan Paul's name is high on the list because the guy never fucking comes to work. So guys like Gunther and guys like LA Knight, guys like Kevin Owens, guys like Joe Hendry. I know, well, I mean, Joe Hendry, I could see his name being pretty high on the list actually, because again, he works for a different company and I know he wants it. And if WWE wants him, they will give it to him. So Cena, I could see, again, like I was saying, I could see why Logan Paul's name is high on the list because he's a guy that is kind of part-time, even though he
Mhm.
said he wants to be a workhorse in 2025. I don't know what that means, and hopefully he is. But with guys like Gunther and Kevin Owens and LA Knight and Sami Zayn and Orton and Punk and all these guys are for the most part there all the time. So
Mhm.
they're going to be there and they're going to be available. But I could see Logan Paul's name being high on that so WWE can hurry up and try to mark down a date.
It works.
Yep, that works for both of them. Even though maybe Logan Paul could, I mean, if Logan Paul stays on his word, then this man could very well, this man could very well be a workhorse in 2025 and be there for majority of the time. But no, I think Logan Paul is a match that people want to see. It's a definitely a match that I want to see. But with that, man, I mean, there's a lot of matches, so it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see exactly how many people um are a part of that farewell tour. Braun Breaker is another match I think people want to see a lot. So there's a lot, and I hope WWE can fit everybody in there accordingly, man. So yeah, but it looks like Logan Paul's name is high on the list, man. So hope we see it.
Definitely. I hope we do. It's interesting. I like how they did that. They gave him a list of people he wants to face, and they're gonna, obviously try to get as much people in there as, with their schedules and whatnot. And I hope they do, man. You got a lot of matches you could do, a lot of older, a lot of younger guys, and it's very intriguing to see, what they do, how they do it, the order of people. Very intrigued, and I can't wait to see it this next year, man.
Yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Speaking of two guys, I think, oh man, Cena versus Cody, bro.
Oh yeah.
That is a match that I want. I don't even want to see the match. I just want to see the promo battles. I want to see John Cena make Cody Rhodes cry, or at least bite his lip.
No, 100%. Mm.
Yes, I need John Cena to make Cody Rhodes. Man, oh God, that should the promo battles between those two just sound absolutely insane.
Oh, they
So
sound fucking great.
yeah, so speaking of two guys that WWE might want to put in John Cena's farewell tour, Gunther and Sami Zayn. According to Dave Meltzer on F4W, Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the World Heavyweight Championship is listed on the internal lineup for WWE Bad Blood on October the 5th. Well, this is certainly interesting because we already have 4 matches confirmed for the show. We got the Hell in a Cell. We got the 2 Judgment Day matches, Finn and Priest, and then Rhea and Liv. We got that. And then there's another one that got confirmed. Oh God. What hold on. I know there's 4 matches confirmed for this show. Give me what's the last one? I keep forgetting. Let me see. Okay. The tag team match. Cody and Roman versus the Bloodline. So that's 4 matches.
Yep.
You add Sammy and Gunther, that's 5. Nia Jax said she's having a match on the show. That's 6. I got to applaud Triple H for hearing the complaint of people wanting a little bit more on the pay-per-view cards, and man delivered.
A little. Yeah, and one more extra match. I like it.
Yes. Yes, they're adding an extra match to see how 6 works out. And I absolutely applaud Triple H for trying it, because at the end of the day, it does not hurt to try. And with how Bad Blood is looking, 6 might be the way to go, because
I think
this
so.
pay-per-view card looks absolutely stacked. It looks absolutely stacked, bro. And a lot of people are excited for it. Um A lot of people are excited for it, and I think overall, man, I think this might be the way to go, man. I think this might be the way to go. I think 6 might be the way to go, and we'll see how the show turns out on October the 5th. But overall, man, I think it's going to turn out. I think it's going to turn out really good, and I think it's going to be something that WWE is going to continue to do because again, look at the hype going into Bad Blood. The show is literally fucking stacked from top to bottom.
Mhm.
The Nia Jax match might be, maybe that one sleeper or the maybe not even the sleeper, but maybe just a match that, I mean it could be good, but at the end of the day, it's the match that, nobody's over the moon excited about. You know what I mean? But I mean, as for what you have on the show, the tag team match, obviously that looks insane. Anything with Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns in it is obviously going to be insane. The Hell in a Cell, the Rhea and Liv, and the Finn and Damien, obviously that's two huge stories. You know what I mean? And then Gunther and Sami Zayn. If you don't think those guys are going to turn out an incredible fucking match, then you're out of your fucking mind. And then so the show looks great, and I think it's going to be something that WWE continues to do, and I like it, man. I like it, and I agree with that decision for sure. I think 6 is the way to
Yeah,
go.
definitely. I think 6 is a real good number. I think it balances things out better for each show. And I like it. I like it that they're testing it out, and I hope they stick with it. And I think they will.
No question. No question. Yo, my man Durante, what up, bro?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yes, thank you for joining us, dude. Um, well, yes, absolutely, Bell. Absolutely. I definitely think, Cena and Randy, Punk and Randy are definitely on the list. They're definitely on the list. And bro, Cena and Punk at Money in the Bank, that just sounds nuts. That
That does
man,
sound crazy.
that
Hell
sound,
yeah.
bro, that sound. I'll tell you what. Quick
Okay.
figure rant here. They came
Oh
out with
no.
the Money in the Bank 2011 CM Punk figure. It's coming out in early November. I already got mine on pre-order. Mattel, Bill,
Okay.
I need a 2011 Money in the Bank, John Cena, so I can display those two facing off with each other. Please, give me an updated Ultimate Edition. Johnny's childhood John Cena, please. And give me my fucking Jacob Fatu figure, please. And my Tongaloa, please. Anyways,
Damn. Poor Tonga.
yeah, I mean, as long as I got the GOAT, okay? I do already have an MJF figure. Guess I don't need my Tamatonga. They got the same shirt any
That's
fucking
right.
way.
MJF. That's wild.
So, so yes, I think 6 is the way to go. I think 6 is the way to go for pay-per-views, and I think it's going to be a great show. And I'm excited to show you guys what we got for Bad Blood, man. So it's coming along good. It's coming along good, man. I think it's gonna obviously be a great look for the podcast. But
It is. It's gonna be really good.
anyways, dude, fucking Bill, man. Give me my. You know how long I've been waiting for an every John Cena Ultimate Edition they do, other than the most recent one that was like 2022 John Cena. Every Ultimate John Cena is from 2008 and under. Dude, it's time. We're like over 10 years past the orange John Cena, the purple John Cena, the fucking red John Cena. For the love of God, can I get my fucking red 2011 John Cena in figure form Ultimate Edition, please? I mean,
No.
it's ridiculous out here. It is ridiculous. Come on, Bill. No, but the Punk's coming in hot, and I'm excited for that. I'm so excited for that Punk, dude. That Ultimate Edition Punk's gonna fucking feed families. Um, so
Oh, I didn't know that either. Roman went to college in Atlanta. Damn, that's crazy.
really,
Apparently,
so
that's very interesting.
Yeah, that is. I seen they're gonna be doing some. I seen they're gonna be doing some face off tonight or something like that. So should be
Mm.
interesting. So speaking of so speaking of some more people in WWE, actually, we just talked about this guy's best friend, Sami Zayn, and we're talking about Kevin Owens, obviously. Fightful Select. Fightful Select is reporting Kevin Owens has not yet re-signed with WWE, with his deal expected to expire at the end of the year. AEW has long held major interest in Kevin Owens, as they will be seen to, at the very least, make an offer to Owens if WWE does not sign him before his contract expires. Oh, here we go. We went through this 3 years ago. Actually, 3 years ago, I thought Kevin Owens was leaving. Um, and a lot can change in 3 years because I think he's staying.
Exactly. It's if that man re-signed in prime Vince WWE
Ooh.
when AEW was actually really good and really hot, he's not fucking going to that company, bro. He's not. I'm sorry. Is, is it impossible? No, he could always go. I don't think he is though. I personally, if I had to put money, I'd put him on staying in WWE. I don't think we're gonna hit the graphic. I don't think we're gonna get the Kevin Steen is all
Come on,
elite
man.
graphic. I think he's staying, man. If that man re-signed with Vince McMahon's WWE when AEW was hot, he's staying. He's staying, bro. Ain't no way.
Well, the reason, see, I'm not even taking all that into consideration. I think Kevin Owens might be scared to go to AEW because when he comes out,
Oh,
Kevin Owens in his entrance, he looks left, then he looks right. And I think when he looks right, that shit might scare him off. Oh, I never seen so many tarps in my
yeah.
life. Oh shit.
Just fucking empty seats
Oh,
galore. Look at what happened to Edge, man. That man used to run both sides of the fucking stage, get hype. Bro only runs to the left side now
you know
because you
when,
can't run.
dude, you know when Edge gets that look on his face when he looks so scared, he looks like he's about to cry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, man, at Wrestle Dream, bro, when he when he ran to the right side of the stage, he stopped before he could run to the other side of the stage because he was like, "Damn,
Hey,
am I
you know
posing for
what?
the fucking production crew? Because there's no, is there supposed to be people over here?"
I think, man. That shit
Oh
was insane. Good old
man.
fucking W. Never fails.
Yeah, I think, dude, I don't know if you guys seen this video of Will Ospreay, but it was like a video somebody captioned it. What happened to AEW? And you know when Ospreay gets off the ropes and he does this spray, dude.
Oh no.
When he did it to the right side of the crowd, or like when we're looking at the TV, the right side of the television, the fan just points and he just points up, and the fan moves his camera to where Ospreay's pointing to, and the whole 200 level is just empty, and he's just
Ugh.
pointing at them, telling them to chant Osprey. I don't know if he's pointing at fucking Lisa the janitor, or if he's pointing at fucking Craig the fucking the ticket usher, trying to usher people to their seats. I don't know who the fuck he's pointing at, but there was nobody up there. And I think when Kevin Owens comes out on Dynamite, like I said, I think when he looks left, he's gonna be like, ooh. And then when he looks right, he's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Holy shit, man,
Oh god
that's
damn.
empty."
That fucking why are they in this big ass arena when they can't fucking sell it out every week?
Yeah. Well, maybe when Edge comes back, he can run over to that side of the stage and fucking scream at Excalibur to be better at his job. Um,
Hopefully.
I was scrolling on Twitter the other day, and I seen a post from somebody, and they said, "For all you that hate on Excalibur, this is a friendly reminder." And it was and it was him winning the commentator of the Wrestling Observer Commentator of the Year awards. And I was like, "Oh Lord, I didn't even know he won that." I'm like,
What a
"Okay, Dave."
fucking fraud. Literally, you don't gotta lie that hard, buddy. Could give it to Taz at that point or something.
How Excalibur beats Michael Cole is a is something to be fucking seen. But So definitely, Bell, definitely. I have given the apologies before, and I will give them again. And Durante was here, and I remember we, including Durante, me, Sir K, Durante, man, we were all laughing, yeah, and scratching our heads that Kevin Owens stayed with WWE because it seemed unplausible at the time. It just
No, yeah,
seemed like, why would you do
idiotic.
that? But I could tell you right now, if he went to AEW, this man would be so miserable and probably be
Mhm.
on the first flight back to fucking Orlando or wherever, New York, wherever, W to Stanford, wherever. He he would absolutely, they would have dropped the ball with him. I guarantee you
Oh, oh,
they would have dropped the ball with Kevin Owens 100%, and he would probably be in the same vein as Keith Lee is right now. And
just a guy on the roster.
yep, he probably would. So I'm glad he stayed in WWE because that was early 2022. Early 2022, he was up. So I'm assuming early 2025, he's up again. But I remember we were all laughing. We were all like, man, why the fuck you re-signed with WWE? And overall, I'm glad he did. And boy, was that a gamble that paid off. Um, so in that case, I guess it was um I guess it was good. I guess it was good to bet on himself, bro, because in that day and age, betting on yourself, as much as people like to say betting on yourself was staying or was going to AEW, betting on yourself was staying under Vince McMahon booking. And he did, and it paid off, thankfully.
And survived. That's insane.
He really did. Really did, bro. Speaking of more deals in the WWE, Sheamus. We brought to you guys last week. WWE was in the process of nailing down Sheamus to a new deal. And it has been reported that Sheamus has officially re signed a new deal with the WWE. This is another guy that a lot of people could have seen going to AEW because we all know how Sheamus loves to work, right? Sheamus
Hmm.
loves to work. He loves a bonger, and we all love Sheamus bongers. Um and um I'm telling you, earlier this year, I would have bet somebody that Sheamus is I would have bet somebody that Sheamus was going to AEW for sure. But I'm glad he stayed, and I think it worked out for him the best because if I just told you guys I think Kevin Owens would have been lost in the shuffle, Sheamus would have absolutely been. Dude, they ain't using Jay White. You think they're gonna use Sheamus? Come on, bro.
Exactly. They're already fucking just randomly using Ricochet most random possible ways, so Sheamus wouldn't have fared too good, man. I'm glad he resigned. Good for him. And I hope he put that theme song in that contract, man.
Yes, and maybe, maybe, because we got some interesting stuff coming up, bro. But yeah, so Sheamus has re-signed, locked into a new deal with WWE. As I am happy for him. I am happy for him. I think it worked out the best. I think it worked out the best that he stays with WWE. I think it worked out the best. Like I said, AEW, he again, like I said, if they ain't using guys like Jay White, if they ain't using guys like that, dude, what makes you guys think that they were gonna use Sheamus, bro? They're hard. They hardly used Pac for the better part of 5 fucking years. You guys think they're gonna use Sheamus? Come on,
Get
no
the hell out
disrespect.
of here, man.
And obviously that's not a knock on Sheamus. That's a knock on Tony Khan not knowing what the fuck he's doing. Because you bet your ass,
No,
conglomeration would be on the show, but Sheamus would not be. So yeah.
he probably would have been part of it.
I wouldn't doubt it. At this fucking point, I wouldn't doubt it. But dude,
Dude,
uh what were you saying?
no, no, go ahead.
Oh, And I mean, too, although I thoroughly disagree with Sir K that Ricochet is being used in random matches, I think the Beast Mordas is a huge money match, and I think that that match is a match that the masses wanted to see. So although I do disagree with that, um, Ricochet, bro, this guy, this guy
The
fucking
Beast
got
Mortal.
this guy, this guy got fucking 3 wins. This guy got 3 wins, and he's going after Will Ospreay. So that's how quick. 3 pumps and you're in. That's what it takes for Tony Khan. 3 pumps and you're
Just
just
three simple pumps.
just
And
everywhere, all over.
yeah,
Okay,
okay. And they
so
need to do that.
the guy's fucking
But
not. He's not
no,
even on Grand Slam, bro. He's not even on Grand Slam. To You don't think he could have at least got one more victory on Grand Slam? Nope. We get a Fletcher match. We get a what was the other one? We get a Fletcher match. We get a what was it?
Leo Rush, wasn't it?
Oh
Wait,
God.
no, it wasn't Leo Rush. It was what the
It,
fuck was it?
Sammy Guevara. It was Sammy Guevara.
Guevara.
And it was Sammy fucking Guerrero and it was the Beast Mordas. What
Fucking
is his
Beast Morton.
obsession? What is the obsession with Beast Mordos? I don't get it. Uh,
I, I I don't get it. He just roars. Apparently he has a degree in real life. So I like, dude, what is going on here? This is a fucking Minotaur gimmick. Why do I have a man with a Minotaur gimmick on my television? This ain't Lucha Underground. I don't want to see this.
Mordos.
The Beast Mordo. I don't care. I don't care, dude. So this shit is insane. Yeah, Mariah versus Yuka at Grand Slam.
Bro, what the fuck is that Grand Slam card, dude?
That
Dude,
shit looks
what
ass.
the fuck, man?
That shit looks so ass, bro.
The Beast Mordos. Dude, I don't
Dude,
know, man. Again, this is one of these weird Tony Khan fucking fetishes. This is one of these weird Tony Khan kinks where this
yeah,
motherfucker just for some reason, I remember like he used to do it back in the day, but at least it was with cool people. Like I remember he had like this weird obsession with like Brody King for like 3 weeks. And it's like, okay, Brody's my guy. I love Brody. Met Brody, he's a great dude. Okay, sure. Um I wish it wasn't a 3 week stint. I wish they actually pushed Brody King as a legit monster on the roster because he's a fucking legit monster on the roster. But it ended up being 3 weeks, and now here we are with the Beast Mordas, and he loves him, and I don't fucking know why. At least with Brody King, I could understand. Okay, it's Brody. Brody's
he's
the
got
man.
it. He got a
Um,
good look. He can wrestle. He can talk. He fucking speaks human language, not fucking roaring. Like I hate it. I don't. And the fans love him too. The hardcore AEW fans. He's
of
one of
course
those
they
like
do.
sicko people.
Oh,
Those people that just fucking love. And you're a sicko if you people are sick. You know that. And I don't mean in a positive way. I mean in a please seek a medical professional type of way. Because goddamn, what the fuck are you doing?
if you are that much of a fucking weirdo to call
Sicko.
yourself to call your fan base sickos, and you got these fucking half-witted idiots walking around talking about I'm a sicko, then
Like,
please.
dude, the only thing that phrase could ever qualify for is like death matches. You can say you're sick for liking those type of matches, that's okay. But like the Beast Mordo,
The
how are
Beast
you a sicko?
Mordas versus Ricochet.
What are, bro, what are you? I mean, you're sick in the head, but not in a good way. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what these fans. I think these fans need some therapy. I think that's what they need. I think they need a parental figure and some therapy in their lives.
I'm a fucking sicko. You serious? Who
Like,
love Beast Mordas? I'm a fucking sicko. Come
I'm
on.
sick of it, dude. I like watching needless matches 24 fucking 7.
I'll take
Like,
my
dude,
fucking
you know what?
money. Fucking Tony. Fucking Mariah May versus fucking Yuka Sakazaki. You fucking
Like,
serious, bro? Are
like,
you
dude,
serious?
what warranted that match? Why why is it
Oh,
her?
oh my dude. Man, we'll get back to AEW in a minute, bro. 'Cause I already we're gonna spiral off again. Anyways, because
We are.
especially
We
once we
have
get to
time.
these AEW stories, they're fucking weirdos, man. They're fucking weirdos, bro. And Tony Khan is. I said this to Sir K last night privately, bro. But like, dude,
Sick.
the more this man just the more this man just continues to the more he continues to just Tony Khan it up, he really goes to show how just similar he is to Vince McMahon in that regard.
Oh, dude,
He booked for an
they have
audience
the
of
exact
one
same book.
himself.
Mhm.
A sick
Exactly,
fuck.
and he's a sick fuck. And like that's the thing, he books for the audience of himself and he just happens to have these people who are on Twitter or he's on Twitter 24/7 too that validate him, that continues this cycle. If he didn't have that little group of sickos that loved everything he did, AEW Dynamite would look completely different. One of the biggest reasons why AEW Dynamite is in the spot it is today is because of those hardcore AEW elitists that just
Yep.
love everything he does. That's
So
and it's insane.
so Sir K Sir K Sir K used to say this all the time back in the day, but he would, back in the early days when we were just starting to catch on to these AEW sick fucks. We used to we, we used to we used to always talk about the state of AEW Dynamite and stuff, and when it was bad. And Sir K would always say and Sir K would always say uh you guys realize you guys have the owner that if you guys were actually honest and said the shit was bad, you guys actually have an
He
owner that
changed.
would fix it.
Yeah,
But we're too
I
far
mean,
down the rabbit hole now. And again,
he.
Tony's
Mhm.
style of booking fits the sick fucks, and they like it. And
Mhm.
they say that he can do no wrong, and he listens to them.
That's the thing. It used to have the option of back in the early days, if people really didn't like something on Dynamite, Tony Khan would have changed it or got rid of it. But nowadays, he has that fucking hardcore sicko audience to where if they like it, that's all that matters. He's got people that watch, and that's all that matters to him. He got people that tweets at him that it's good. That's all he needs, and he's never gonna change. I think they screwed themselves with Dynamite because it's
Yeah.
only it has its ups. I mean, we had a good month and a half, maybe stretch of a good run of Dynamite, and now it's back down again. And I think that's what AEW TV has defaulted to is just it's gonna be great sometimes, but most of the time it's just gonna be there.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely, bro. Most definitely. But yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is like a cult. It is like a
Hmm.
cult bell. 100% it is. Um Books for all the sickos. That is just
It's insane,
oh
dude. Like
my
what?
god. I don't
Yeah.
even you know, I don't know, man. So anyways, back to WWE. And trust me, in a little bit we're going to get back to them. Um WWE PWInsider.com is reporting that the company is being more aggressive with their approaches to upcoming talent contracts coming up. As well, even if the talent rather is not coming up, WWE is being more aggressive with their approaches. WWE is in the process of locking down Rhea Ripley, Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, and WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax to sign new deals. Unlike what happened earlier this year, where talent contracts were slated to expire weeks before talks began. WWE is now looking to get new deals done ahead of time, with some wrestlers who still have plenty of time left on their deal. Um,
Definitely. Think that's good, dude. I think that's good. I think that's good on both parts. It's good to know, you know, where you're gonna keep your job and if you got to change things way months in ahead. And it's good for WWE because they if you're re-signing that early on and that ahead, you really can't play the AEW wants me card. So, you know, WWE can kind of give them what WWE wants. So it's kind of a win-win for both parties.
Definitely, and especially too, these three names: Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Nia Jax. Triple H has pretty much done a
Great.
lot
Mm-hmm.
to make sure these women know that they are big parts of what he wants to do in his administration, or at least for now. Um, but yeah, obviously Rhea, especially. I know Rhea Ripley. I would not be shocked if Rhea Ripley got one of the bigger deals of all time. I would not
I
be
wouldn't be.
shocked because she is a stud and WWE knows she's a stud and WWE knows that she is nothing but money. And
Mm-hmm.
Nia Jax and Liv Morgan as well. Triple H has done pretty good by them to putting them in stories and doing something worthwhile with those two. So I honestly think all three of these women are staying with the company.
Oh, I really do, man. I think what you said with Rhea Ripley is very true too. I think she's going to get a big deal, bigger than a lot of men and women in that locker room.
100%. She's worked her ass off for it, and she's everybody knows Rhea is a stud. So, WWE is actually absolutely going to give it to her. Liv Morgan, on the other hand, has gone out on multiple occasions talking about how much she loves working with Triple H and how he really keeps an open ear and he really listens to the talent and all this good stuff. And then Nia Jax has family ties; she ain't going anywhere. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Hope she doesn't have family ties, but
What's up?
hope she doesn't have family ties, but she does. You know, her family is in the company, so she's
Oh,
obviously staying.
absolutely. Her cousin is the ultimate glazer. So,
Glazer, he made his own title to give a widow to give to him. Bro is
oh
legendary.
my
She's so.
god. Dude, that just reminded me. There was a story going
Oh
around
no.
that The Rock created he created the people's title so Cody Rhodes in case WWE felt that his reign was running flat and wanted to take the title off of him before WrestleMania, they created the Glazer title. So, in case Cody had to drop the belt because WWE didn't like his reign, him and Rock still had something to fight for.
We're really gonna fight for the Glazer title. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
So, let's just say in October, WWE says, I don't really like the way this Cody title reign's going, and they take the title off of him. The Glazer title was created, so when Rock comes back, Cody, I guess, could tell him, I want that belt.
It's hilarious. I
Oh,
want the
brother.
Glazer belt that has your logo and identity all over it. Like what?
Fucking Rock. That man is just so in love with himself. It is ridiculous. It
I
is
fucking love
ridiculous, bro. Yeah. Let me see.
it all rock.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That was again, I don't know exactly how true it was, man, but that is one of the craziest that is one of the craziest stories. That is one of the craziest stories. Just
Shit's wild.
the Rock, bro.
Fucking
That's all you could say. Just the fucking
literally.
Rock. Man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Good old Rocky. It's just it just brings me back to just when they swapped belts and just thinking in that moment, they were probably planting seeds for
For that, just in case.
yep, for just for Cody to, I guess, in case they did want him to drop the belt, for Cody to just come out and be like, "Well, I lost the WWE title, but you still
But you
have
still
that one, and I enjoyed holding it." Like, bro,
have, I
what?
enjoyed holding it. Like, bro, dog, what are you doing? It's literally the Glazer title. It's
Man,
literally what it is.
yeah. So, more deals in WWE. More deals coming. Well, well, at this point it might as well be. Um, so Ricky Starks,
Uh,
according to Fightful, Ricky Starks is still under AEW contract, but has not been backstage at AEW as of late. No shit. This man
Just
hasn't
let
been
it go.
backstage since. This man hasn't been backstage since. God, man, I don't know. Whenever whenever he had that concussion scare with I was gonna say little Bill, with Big Bill. Whenever he had that concussion scare with Big Bill on Collision, I think
Mm.
that was the last time we heard about him being on AEW television, and that man ain't been back since. Yes, and Bell is absolutely right. He is camping with a tent outside of the performance center right now, waiting for his
Oh,
contract to be up. And Bell said it earlier in chat. This fucking guy, to me, he's already a WWE guy.
oh, fuck yeah! He screams it. He gives that vibe, and I can't wait for to see him in this company. And it's sad that he's still stuck in the pit of the AEW nothingness that he's got to wait out.
He is as he's about as good as gone, man, and he's been about as good as gone. He's so gone. He might as well already be a WWE superstar because he yeah he's a
Literally.
goner.
Oh, 100%.
So jumping over to guys that also will be WWE superstars. According to PWN, the Lucha Bros have signed a multi-year deal with WWE and will be headed to the main roster, as this came out after reports that Rey Fenix is done and Tony Khan was juggling adding time on to his adding time onto his deal, or not, because of injury, because he legally had the right to do so. And honestly, bro, in this case, I gotta give it up to Tony Khan, because this was a class act thing to do, even though he was juggling it. Um, even though he was juggling, should I add time to his deal or should I just let him go? He opted to just let the man go. And that is actually very commendable of Tony Khan. It was reported, Ray Phoenix was one of the guys when working at Daly's place was optional. He was one of the guys that raised his hand. He wanted to do it. He wanted to,
Hmm.
help the company progress into, honestly, bro, what was just the perfect pandemic wrestling. They perfected it. And it was just great television in the pandemic era. It was great. Um, Ray Phoenix was one of the guys that was there, and he was a day one in AEW, never caused any problems. He did dump John Moxley on his head after he got a concussion, but you know, for the most
Things
part,
happen.
never called, never caused any, outright backstage, ruckus in the backstage area. He was a good employee, and I can commend Tony Khan for not not adding time onto his contract and being petty to him, even though he legally could have. So that is
Hmm.
actually very respectable from Tony Khan, and I'm glad that he did that. I'm glad that he did that, man, and he let him go elsewhere. And what does this do for your future? This keeps the door open for the Lucha Bros to maybe come back in one day.
Exactly, man. It keeps you looking good. It keeps you looking, like a fucking adult. And I'm glad. And you never know, they could always come back, man. So good decision from Tony Khan. I'm really glad he did that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. So with that, WrestleVotes Radio is reporting that the Lucha Bros signing with WWE is a done deal, as production of the masks, t-shirts, and other promotional materials are underway. So,
Look at that, man. One of AEW fucking merchandising's biggest blunders. How do you not sell their mask? Like dog.
dude, that
Ugh.
yeah, that I man, oh, I never understood why they didn't do that kind of stuff, man. Like, you remember when AEW was you remember when AEW was it almost seemed like everybody was cosplaying as Orange Cassidy. I even think Tony Khan cosplayed as Orange Cassidy. It always
They did.
boggled my mind how they never sold like Halloween costume sets with the Orange Cassidy shirt and the
And
the
Jean
the, the
Jack.
get up and the sunglasses, and then two, like Sir K just said, man, one of their biggest blunders, bro. How do you not fucking sell the Ray Phoenix and especially the Pentagon mask?
Do you not like sell that type of shit for everybody, let alone those guys? It's such their merchandise is just so horrible, man, and it's crazy to see that they started off as the t-shirt company and now their merchandise is just complete ass. And it's crazy to see how they fumbled that.
Yeah, where is my fucking Beast Mordos mask? I mean, come on.
Alright, I'm okay.
I want no. I want to be the Beast Mordos for Halloween. That's what I
Ooh
want to
yeah.
be. I do.
Mm,
If I could walk
Joey.
around as the Beast TARDIS, then I will. Dude, oh my god, bro. What
Oh
was
yeah,
that, dude? I think I sent that in the group chat when I seen it. And I was like, "Bro, what the
shit was complete ass, like gold and black. They just had the AEW PNG of the title. Like what?
if you paid $100 for that world champion sweater and on the back in giant bold white lettering it just says AEW World Champ. Who the fuck would ever wear that? It's like, what happened to their merch, dude? Their merch, like, I I mean, oh my like if I'm looking at any piece of AEW merch to this day, it's merch that came out like 2 or 3 years ago. Like, I still need to get, and I honestly think this might be the only piece of AEW merch I'm concerned with at this point. Um, and it came out years ago, right when they first teamed up. That half Darby, the Darby and Sting shirt. I still need to get me that
Alright.
because I need me some Sting and Darby merch. So just kill two birds with one stone. But that came out in like 2021, which was like my
Mhm.
favorite era of AEW, and it was just it was great. It is a great piece of merch, and their merch was fucking great. We were always either talking about going down to Pro Wrestling Tees or we were going to Pro Wrestling Tees, and if not, we were always buying merch at the shows or buying actual, buying the merch online. It was great merchandise. It was insane. It was insane merchandise.
No,
And
it
look at,
wasn't it was fucking great.
dude, man,
Ass. Oh, that shit is total ass now.
that shit sucks, bro. That shit is fucking horrid. Um, but bro, man, that world championship sweater, dude. That has got to be about the ugliest fucking piece of merchandise. I think the only one worse than that is the AEW shirt that says I'm a fucking sicko or something. I'm a
It just
sicko.
says I'm sick. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the A which there's a piece of AEW, an old piece of AEW merch that said let's fucking go. I don't know why they didn't sell that because it was especially in that era. It was in that era actually during my CM Punk first dance debut. I'm not saying I came up with the saying or anything, but in my first dance video, all you could hear me screaming is "Let's fucking go," and then everybody fucking was saying it after that. So
Mm,
you know, fuck you, sick fucks. But
fuck you, sick fucks. God.
anyways, listen, um, man, here- Bell's coming. It seems as if Bell's coming at Logan with the British slang again. This is ridiculous.
Mm, oh God.
Unreal. Unreal. Never ceases to amaze me in the chat. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. They never sold that piece of merch, but you know. And also too, could you guys make a commemorative, affordable replica title, please? God.
Please.
Yeah, they got rid of Dana Massey, and the new person is not doing that much fucking better. In fact, the new person might be
No.
doing worse.
And they actually might be doing way worse. This is insane. How do you do a worse job?
There's still no talent merch at the merch shop at the
That's
AEW
insane.
shows. Who the fuck wants to buy an AEW logo shirt?
What? I don't want that shit. I don't want a company logo on my shit. I just want the person or the show.
So stupid, bro. So yeah, man, that is the news. Anyways, got off track again. That's the news on the Ricky Starks. That's the news on Ricky Starks. Still being under AEW contract, and yeah, he's still under AEW contract, and it's going to have to we're just gonna have to keep waiting and to see when this guy gets done with the company, bro. So hopefully it's only a matter of time, but at this point, I don't fucking know.
Who knows at this fucking point, man?
Um So yes, that is the news. Or no, we were talking about the Lucha Bros. My bad. Well, that's the news on the Lucha Bros signing with WWE and their huge merchandise blunder with the Lucha Bros, man. And it looks like WWE, they're not even on television yet, and WWE's already starting production on masks. They're already starting production on
Merch. Look at that. Is
merchandise.
that so hard?
No, it's not. They're not even on television yet. They're already one step ahead of them, of AEW. That is, and AEW had them for 5 fucking years.
Good lord.
Or WWE news, man. Or WWE news. Jumping over to some AJ Styles news. As according to Fightful Select, AJ Styles is healthy and just is not being used on WWE television. He was on the WWE Overseas Tour, but was not featured on television. As creative, currently just has nothing for him.
I hope they get that 3 hours, man, because hopefully they'll actually use them then.
Man. See, obviously you already did the stuff with Cody. He already did stuff with LA Knight over, the WrestleMania season. So, yeah, we're at a weird point with AJ Styles where I think keeping him on SmackDown, keeping him around a bunch of people that he's already been around, which is why this year's brand split was the bland split, because AJ
Hmm.
Styles would have absolutely benefited from being around a Gunther, being around a Braun Breaker, being around a
Oh yeah.
Dragunov, being around just guys that he's never really been around before. And on SmackDown, you can say, you got Hayes over there and stuff, but
He's
Hayes is a
not.
heel. Hayes is a
Yeah.
heel. Andrade, I mean, I believe he's already, faced and, done stuff with Andrade before. So I'm hoping maybe if they call some people up to SmackDown, maybe a Trick Williams, some of their baby faces over there, that could be a good thing for AJ Styles. Maybe a stint in NXT would be okay for AJ Styles, just for a little 3-month run or
Little visit.
so. Yeah, he
Yeah.
can go down there. He can work with Trick. He can work with Javon Evans. He can work with God, who's a baby face over there. I was gonna say Wesley, but I think Wesley's a heel. Um,
Yes.
he can work with Tony D'Angelo. I mean, maybe that would be good for AJ Styles, and maybe I think Gallows and Anderson are down there right now, so you might as well just send AJ
Sure.
with them and just bring them all
Yeah.
back up together.
You might as well, man. I don't know what the weight is, and you have stuff you can do with them. They just aren't doing them.
Yeah. So that's that. And yeah, but he's not being used on television. And, I mean, at some point, I guess I would rather him be off of television if they truly don't have anything to do for him than him being on television and just having nothing to do for him. Or just him doing a bunch of random shit that nobody cares about. So yeah, that's that. But hopefully they can find something to do for him, man, and hopefully hopefully they can get the ball rolling on something for AJ Styles. But honestly, at this point, dude, I don't even think either a trip to NXT or maybe even a trade over to Monday Night Raw. Maybe you send AJ Styles in the package to get Sami Zayn and Jey Uso over to SmackDown.
Exactly. That could be good. I'd like that. I feel like he'd do better on Raw at this point, so let's try it. Let's do something like that.
Yeah, maybe you do Sammy and Jay for AJ and uh Andrade, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, Andrade's got Charlotte, so I guess he can't really go. AJ and God, uh I don't know, somebody. Figure it out. Um, maybe you do something like that, bro. Maybe you do something like that because, yeah, honestly, I could not tell you what the guy is gonna do on what the guy is going to even do on SmackDown. I think they've exhausted all options. Like I said, unless they call somebody up, because again, most of the new people that he hasn't feuded with before are heels or they're doing something. So yeah. Uh, some positive WWE news, I guess. PW Insider is reporting there was a lot of praise internally within WWE for Joe Tessitore's Monday Night Raw call this past Monday. Man, we talked
Good.
about it.
That's really good.
Yes, we talked about it on Monday after Raw, how good he was, but that's exactly what he was, bro. Joe is a stud, and Joe is just, you can tell he was a great commentator in a different sport, and you can literally just tell it's knocking off it's just not even rust. I don't even know what I'm trying. It's like breaking it's like
Just learn.
breaking in some new shoes, right? When you get some
Yeah.
new shoes, they're a little stiff, they're kind of uncomfortable to walk in, but as you start to walk in them and stuff, and um hopefully if they're not a too nice pair of shoes, you start to crease them a little bit, and you just start to get more comfortable, and they start to get just more acclimated to walking, and then they're great. You know what I mean? Like I said, again, if they're a pair of really nice sneakers, and hopefully you don't fucking crease them, or else you're an idiot. Um, but, but at the end of the day, man, they will get acclimated sooner or later to walking, and they will get acclimated to, like I said, just, you know, walking. They'll be more comfortable. But Joe, from week one, everybody, wanted to hold his flaws under a microscope, and he had his flaws. Of course he had his flaws, but as I told everybody, um, and most of you guys here are smart and intelligent wrestling fans, so you guys know, you know, okay, sure, he wasn't perfect. Give the guy time. Give the guy time. He's going to be a stud. He's going to be a stud in no time. And here we are. Here we are for Here we are a couple weeks later, literally just 2 weeks after the debut, and this guy's already getting praised for his work because he sounds excited, he sounds energized, he sounds just passionate. He sounds passionate,
Mhm.
bro, and that's really what makes this work, man. Is Joe just he just sounds passionate behind the booth, and he just sounds like he wants to continue to learn. And he's learning and he's doing great. So I'm glad he's getting praised and he deserves every bit of the praise. He's been doing fantastic.
Definitely, man, definitely. I'm glad they're happy with him. I'm happy with him. I think he's doing great, and I'm glad that they recognize his talent, man. I'm very happy. It's very good.
Yes. Jumping over to some WWE news. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but according to PWN, women's mid-card championships are reportedly in the works soon for the WWE main roster. As oh brother.
Yeah,
God,
it just won't work, dude. I think it's just doing too much.
it is. And again, if you really want to do the women's mid-card title, gotta get rid of those tag belts. Those
You
tag
have
belts
to.
are just the worst fucking thing ever. They just
They're
suck.
essentially they're essentially they're just their current mid card titles. If no one's doing
Basically.
anything, they just throw two people together, give them the tag titles.
Yep.
That's all it is, man. So hope they get rid of those if they are doing that, and we'll see how that goes. I probably wouldn't make them. I think it's just gonna devalue the women's world titles, but we'll see how they treat them, man. And I hope everything goes well with that.
The women's and again, I don't even think their division's that crazy big for
Yep.
for at the very most one. I don't think you need one on each show. I think you could have
No,
one that floats. I think that could at the very least work, but I just don't even know if
I
it's
would do
that
that.
even big for that. But again, speaking hypothetically, I mean if you were to do it, the only way it would make sense is for one that
Hmm.
floats. If you get rid of the women's tag titles and just have one mid card title that floats, because none of these women's tag teams hits. Pure what the fuck collection doesn't work. That team does nothing. Damage control at this point is it's a dead act.
Nothing.
Okay, I love all the ladies in that group, but it's a dead act, right? Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, they're better. They're I mean they're okay as a tag team,
These
but
groups
they're
are better
great.
as singles.
Yeah, they can be great pieces to a women's mid card if you wanted to have one, title that floated between each show. Jade and Bianca is literally just let's hide Jade's flaws until WrestleMania season tag team. And yeah, I mean none of these teams hit. None of these women's tag teams hit at all. So I think if you wanted to make it work, one mid card women's title that floated between each show, you might have something there. Might. but but yeah, man, I mean overall, this is a concept that I don't care to see on top of the belts that you already have, man. But
Nope.
two, I also just don't want to get this overcrowded with I don't want to get overcrowded with belts, bro. I really don't.
I really, I know you don't need that many. You need the ones you got now, essentially. If anything, just trim the one off you got now, tag titles, and you're good. That's all the titles you need.
Less is more in wrestling, bro. What do
Hmm.
we always say?
Fucking been screaming that since the days of NXT.
Yes, and NXT proved us right.
It was so much better when it was just simple and just simple like that.
Yeah. Saturday night's main event. So, WWE put out a press release, which I'm going to play for y'all here. All right. as you can see, the poster for the show on the right-hand side of your screen. For immediate release, WWE's iconic Saturday night's main event returns to NBC on December the 14th in prime time. Tickets for Saturday night's main event go on sale this Friday, September 20th at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster. Pre-sale for Saturday night's main event begins Thursday, September 19th, so yesterday, at 10 a.m. Fans can register now to receive exclusive pre-sale offering by visiting the website listed. September 17th, 2024. WWE, part of TKO Group's Holdings, and NBC announced the return of the iconic Saturday night's main event, which will air live on Saturday, December 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC and simulcast on Peacock. The special will be held at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island, New York, site of the first ever Saturday night's main event. This marks the first primetime special, which will air quarterly on NBC and Peacock as part of WWE's new 5-year domestic media rights partnership with NBC Universal, which officially kicked off last Friday with SmackDown on USA Network. Additionally, official Saturday night's main event priority pass will be available through exclusive partner on location, offering premium seating, hospitality events with superstar appearances, exclusive photo opportunities, and more. To buy or learn more about Saturday night's main event priority passes, please visit the website listed. Saturday night's main event originally premiered on NBC in May of 1985. Peacock Peacock is the live streaming home of WWE in the US, with upcoming premium live events such as Bad Blood, NXT Halloween Havoc, and Crown Jewel, in addition to WWE shows like Bray Wyatt becoming immortal, American Nightmare becoming Cody Rhodes, and WWE. Okay. So, originally, I thought this was going to be a show that combated World's End. It is not. This is going to be a show similar to... So, I basically think what this is we're going to get rid of live events, and some of the live events we do are going to actually be live, and they're actually going to just be primetime specials similar to Battle of the Belts. Exactly. So, yeah, they're kind of just going to be taped house shows that we're gonna put some big names on, because WWE's always done Saturday night main event. For the past couple years, they've just been untelevised house shows, so it's just been that. But I honestly think now that these are going to be quarterly, 4 times a year primetime specials, I think they're just going to be something just to garner more revenue for USA, and just a house show that we're going to put stuff on that does play into stories. And instead of having a house show that we don't tape, we're just going to have a house show that we do tape. And it's just going to be, like I said, just basic, this kind of basic, just random shows that are basically going to be similar to what AEW does with Battle of the Belts. But I actually think we're going to see things on Saturday Night Main Event that play into stories, as to where Battle of the Belts is kind of just a typical Tony Khan throw random matches together and for the sick fucks and hope that they like it.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I think it's gonna be treated better than a Battle of the Belts, but I think it's gonna be a lot like that. Just the quarterly special, they do it. You get big names on the show versus some other big names, and you call it a day, man. And I think that's what it's gonna be. I think it is gonna play into story a little bit, and I think it could also like set things up a little bit, maybe, as their test to get a reaction to certain feuds or people. I think they could use that as a testing ground for, if they're not sure about something on the main roster, they could test it there. And I think it's going to be good overall.
Definitely, man. And then with that, it is being reported, obviously it has been reiterated again, because after the newest media call with TKO board member Mark Shapiro, WWE will be dropping down to fewer events, which he's obviously stated. and he had some pretty wild things to say, and I think all of us are about to fall out of our chairs collectively because Mark Shapiro recently was speaking on a media call where he said that they are continuing to trim marginally profitable non-televised events, which Vince McMahon liked to run because he was trying to expand the brand name. He did say that the events were going to significantly be shorter. That did not specify whether NXT was included. I don't think NXT should be included because though that is NXT is made for these people to get reps and for these people to
Mm,
wrestle as much as possible to get better. And I don't think all I think that would do is get your performance center a bigger head because they're going to
exactly.
think that they're
Just go
superstars.
right up.
When yes, NXT should be working the shit schedule, the schedule
Yeah.
that is just grinding and grinding and grinding because that's what they need. More reps, more reps,
Mhm.
more reps
Character.
because it's developmental. So,
You're developing. You're not just instantly great.
yep.
Can't let egos, develop.
Or else you get AEW. So
For locker room.
Shapiro said, Shapiro said that Shapiro stated that the WWE tickets remain underpriced. Yes, I said that.
Okay. I hope
Shapiro,
he's talking about house shows.
uh,
'Cause
Shapiro
get the
said that the tickets remain underpriced. Underpriced. Not
under
overpriced. Underpriced.
fucking nosebleeds was fucking 1400s, man, but that's underpriced. We're all not fucking CEOs, asshole.
And he joked that he yells at the team, not oh brother. He jokes that he yells at the WWE team about not making the prices higher because they're selling out so fast. He mentioned they did not have dynamic pricing tools in the past, indicating the trend of ticket prices increasing as demand increases that has taken over the concert industry could be coming to WWE.
That is so ass, dude. All I ever see it when people talk about like concerts and live music is how horrible ticket pricing is.
Dude,
That's all I ever see.
they
Is uh,
man.
that's a horrible way to go about it. When you're such a merchandise, enabled company, you think you do lower on the tickets and just fucking put merch everywhere. I mean, you think you would shove merch down their throats. People will buy it. The wrestling fans, you make enough 5XLs, you're gonna sell out.
So he said that the current Peacock deal, he said with the current Peacock deal for their premium live events and archived content comes up in 2026. Oh, brother. And they feel
Mm,
incredible about that deal coming up, and that is and that it's beautiful that they have all the deals in place for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, putting over Netflix strongly as a battleship that will continue to grow their brand and audience. On the PLE deal, Shapiro said the 12 monthly events are exciting and that people know all about the shows. He said the fan base is a casual sports fan and the casual or the WWE fan base is a casual sports fan, an entertainment fan, lots of women and very, very young. He said they're in a really strong place and plan on doing a lot of listing with the potential suitors for their premium live events. I just know
man,
we're going to get something like the UFC where you have to pay
mm,
for the monthly. You have
man,
to
you got.
pay monthly for the service, and you have to
Mm,
fucking pay for each pay per view. And that I
I
know,
feel like
I know we're gonna get it. I already know.
I feel they see a company the size of AEW gets pay-per-view buys, so they think that, and they think, oh yeah, we'll do fine. We could do that, no problem. Like these companies don't realize how much availability goes a long way for people watching your product. If it's too difficult or too expensive, I'm not watching. You think I'm gonna pay $60 for Crown Jewel? No. I'll probably pay a 50 or 60 for a Bad Blood, the big four.
Yeah.
But you think I'm paying no, I'm not. I don't care. It's like that's not how it works, people. And that's really scary. And I feel like that's what it's gonna evolve into because he's money hungry. He likes that money. I think they're gonna go that route, and I think that's a horrible route to go in because I hate how I don't know why that corporate side of this company thinks that like wrestling fans are like big sports fans. Most aren't, dude. Like I hate the idea that I hate when people say there's no such thing as casual wrestling fans because there are, and they're not
Yeah.
casual sports fans. They're casual wrestling fans. They'll watch occasionally. They'll watch a big pay-per-view. You think a casual is gonna pay for Bad Blood? No matter how good it's not, how good it looks, they're probably not gonna pay $60, $50 for a Bad Blood. I don't think I hate that business model.
I was going to say, most of the people that I know, and again, this is just my experience, either you're a diehard sports fan and you're a casual wrestling fan, or you're a casual sports fan and a diehard wrestling fan. That is
Mm-hmm.
at least that's
Exactly.
most of what I experience. Um, again, I don't really know too many people that are casuals for both. Um,
Yeah.
at that
Like,
point, maybe you just don't know what you like, or you don't know what you like to watch more than the other. But again, at least that's my experience. But I'll tell you, dude, obviously, I don't want to sit here and tell you guys that, this isn't a smart thing to do because I guess, I mean,
make the money.
for their numbers, it's smart for them because they know that people will buy and people will, buy the shows because the company's hot and stuff. But I'll tell you, your company's heat doesn't always last forever. And
Mm, there's gonna be
what
down period.
what happens when there's a down period? That was one of the reasons why they moved to the WWE network because A, everything was going to streaming, and B, those B-list pay-per-views were getting shit buys. They were getting shit buys
Mhm.
because nobody's buying Crown Jewel. Nobody's
No.
buying, you know,
Night of Champions in fucking 2014, you know what I mean? No one's buying that shit.
Um, yeah, man. So I don't know. And again, too, not every, and this is one thing that I liked for the longest time about AEW. This is one thing that I liked for the longest time about AEW was this was one of the mission statements that Cody Rhodes wanted to push through when AEW first got started was we want things to be affordable because
Mm.
not everybody, and again, I'm not saying you have to make your ticket prices $100
No.
for a Survivor Series or for a WrestleMania. For WrestleMania, I understand $400, $500, $600 tickets. Okay, it's WrestleMania. But at the end of the day, bro, Survivor Series nosebleeds for
Mm.
fucking $1,400, dude.
That's fuck.
Not not everybody not everybody's a fucking millionaire, and not everybody's got it like that. And again, a lot of wrestling fans, dude, they they work normal jobs. We work our fucking tail ends off and we fucking bust our ass so that we can sit in the upper 100, lower 200 level for your show. And now we can't even do
Mm-hmm.
that because you want to yell at your team and say, "Well, these are selling out so fast, the ticket prices need to be higher." What?
It's gonna hit them when they're at a down period because it's inevitable. There's always gonna be a down period of some sort, and when that hits, they're really gonna realize, like, damn, we were off a high streak, man, and it's not always gonna be like this 24/7. Um, Especially with wrestling fans, man. They can come and go with what they like and what they don't like. But I think that's a horrible idea. I think, like you said, they'll make their money, but like it's you shouldn't you know I fucking don't know how to put this into words. But you shouldn't like not have everybody at your show, if that makes sense. You shouldn't get normal people to look at a ticket price for what's relatively just a normal pay-per-view like Survivor Series. Yeah, it's a bigger one, but again, it's Survivor Series. It's not WrestleMania, and expect them to pay $1,400 for fucking nosebleed tickets.
Yeah.
No one can afford that. No one in the real world can afford that, man. So you're robbing a lot of people of your experience, man. And I think that goes against what they think they're about, man. And I just think that's really disappointing.
No, man, it absolutely is, bro. It absolutely is. Again, I mean, a lot of your audience, bro, we work normal jobs. We work
And
and like
they mentioned a lot of their audience is younger. These people are paying for 3, 4 kids at a time. You think
yes.
your average fucking parent can pay 3 or 4 kids to go to one of these shows?
Well,
I'm a lonely adult, and I could barely pay for this show.
look,
Like, come on, dude.
dude, I mean, our very own, bro, our guy Naysayers, dude, was talking
Yeah.
to us last week about how he was gonna go to an event, but they're too fucking
He's in
expensive because
mhm,
he has children.
kids now.
And
Oh,
that's a great point that you mention is again, he said most of our audience is a young audience. So if your audience is young, not only do these parents have to pay for themselves, which is an arm and a fucking leg, now they got to pay for 2 arms and 2 more fucking legs because they have
and
children and you want to bring your wife. Okay. Now you got to, again, now that's more, so it's like, it doesn't make any sense. And I wish they wouldn't look at it with just rose-colored goggles on, bro. And I wish they would look at the reality of the situation and the working man and what we do to come to the shows, bro. I mean, because it's just it's that's just too expensive and it's too outrageous. And again, if you think you're going to if you think that you're going to be charging people uh once you get your new streaming deal, if you think you're going to be charging people the for the streaming service per month and then more another 50, $60 to buy the pay-per-view, I mean, what the fuck? And then on top of that, you can't even say, well, I'm not gonna pay that, so I'll just go to the show because it's near me. Can't even do that because the fucking tickets are an arm and a leg. So it sucks and it does not help anybody at all except line their pockets. And unfortunately, that's all they're fucking worried about. Yeah, so I don't know, man. That I mean, for their pockets, that's a good way of looking at things, man. But for your core audience, bro, that's a horrible way of looking at it because, again, not everybody's fucking got it like that. And that's the reality of the
yeah,
situation.
exactly.
So, yeah, man. Speaking of they ain't got it like that, Def Rebel.
Those fucks.
Fuck, do they not got it like that? By the way, Anna Medina, what's going on? How are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for joining the show.
Uh, God, Def Rebel. All right, Belle,
Ugh,
get your popcorn ready. I seen your tweets. She's pumped.
celebration time.
It is. Get the fucking confetti. Get the confetti cannons ready. According
Mm-hmm.
to PWN, there are rumblings that Def Rebel's contract with WWE will not be renewed upon expiration. WWE using mainstream artists is expected to be the norm going forward, as their deal is expected to be up late 2024. Yes, this fucking year. Dude,
Thank God, dude. Pack 'em up.
Def Rebel got so lazy, bro. I remember I was hyped when they came in because when they came in, we were getting EO Sky's song and we were getting like Damian Priest's original NXT song. And I was like, damn, CFO may be gone, but okay, these new people might be cooking.
Might be good.
And when I tell
Nope.
you they got lazy and they got complacent, holy fuck.
Boy, did they. That shit became so ass. It became legendarily ass. Like,
And as of late, you could tell they've maybe tried to salvage their job a little bit, but I think it was too far gone. I'm sorry, Jacob Fatu, Tamatanga, Tangaloa, all those songs, they do not hit. They do not.
no, they don't.
And
People
and
are making up Jacob Fatu's. It's not it.
it's not, dude. But and dare I say, and some people might have my head on a spike, or at least want my head on a spike. Roman Reigns' new song is not it.
No, that shit does not hit. It is oralist. I'm sorry.
Dude, how you get rid of Head of the Table is just some of the craziest work in company history. It's some of the
Eh,
craziest work in company history. But boy, am I glad that Def Rebel could be up with WWE because, and I mean, as of late, again, they have some, like obviously Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins got a good song. Solo song is very good. Jimmy and Jay's songs are very good, even though I credit that to them being that they're
them.
the lead
Yeah,
vocal on the show. Solo song is great. Um, Obafemi song is pretty good. But dude, regardless, most of their shit sucks. It sucks. And even though I just mentioned some good songs, they could be better. They could be
oh
better.
yeah, it could always be
Um,
better.
but God, is this some of the best news in company's history? And what's even better is they're going back to using mainstream artists.
Look at that. They're actually spending money. Look at that.
That's interesting because you could actually get some pretty decent stuff you could actually get some pretty decent stuff from some pretty decent artists
Mm-hmm.
here for some people, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, hmm,
You got a lot of people, and you could just get old themes back too by that logic.
yes.
Because technically, a lot of people are by some sort of artist. Get Rebel Heart back. Get a lot of
Oh,
these old themes back. Like, please.
dude. Yes, please get Rebel Heart back. Please get Chrome Hearts back for DIY. That song that they come out, man, I don't know what the fuck
The
that
we are.
DIY, bro. Get
We
that
are.
shit out of here, bro. And
It's
again, even with like the bloodline stuff, dude, like man, when I tell you Jacob Fatu could come out to some serious heat and they have him coming out to some generic mean Samoan guy music, um,
like this
it's
man is built fucking old school hip hop to come out to, dog. Like, come
yeah,
on, what are you doing here? You got this man coming out to generic big guy song.
dude, this man, this fucking guy, this guy's in MLW chilling in the alleyway with some
Some
this guy's
fucking
chilling with the
Newports and
alleyway with some Hennessy and a pack of Newports, bro. Get this man some old school hip hop, or at least get him. I could see like Jacob Fatu with like something that is, I could see Jacob with something along the lines of like, like lyricless music, but like something with some character, bro. Give the guy something with
yeah.
some fucking character, please.
Like, obviously not him, because most people would think of, a certain person in AEW, but something with, like, the style of Action Bronson, with, like, Hook's theme. Something of that style, I think, could fit Jacob Fatu a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe a little tougher, but, like, that style. But, like, for everybody, you got so many people that could come out to something that fits them, and they just come out to just generic noise.
Man, and just wait till my boy Wardlow comes to
Oh, thank you,
WWE.
War Pigs. Oh, man, that'll be heat.
Even if not War Pigs, I think Wardlow coming out to something Black Sabbath or something Ozzy
Oh,
Osbourne would be nuts.
oh, I would go crazy. That's really all they need is him behind him.
Yeah. But dude, yeah, that is yeah, I mean, man, I mean that they can have a lot of like seriously good options, bro. They could have a lot of seriously good options. Old music, new music. I mean, you could get a lot of good stuff, bro. You can get a lot of good stuff with the artists that obviously make music today, or even artists that make music back in the day. You could get a lot of good shit, and and I'm excited, man. I'm excited because it's been far too long where WWE is just scum of the earth with the fucking theme music, man. I mean, it is atrocious how bad their themes
Hmm.
are, and I'm glad that, we can actually be getting something that is just more more of a something that's just more fits people instead of just generic colorless music. I mean, it is just the plain of all plain, just straight black and white that Def Rebel gives
Hmm.
us. Give me some with a little more, some saturation, man, some color, some personality to the fucking music, please. It's been far too
Literally.
long. Or you could even go the Jim Johnson route and you can get a guy who makes the music,
Sure.
but he
Hmm.
distributes through mainstream artists. I think that'd be perfect. I think Jim Johnson's probably a little too old, but that's okay. I'm sure there's a bunch of more talented young
Yep.
guys. You could get a guy
Mhm.
that's in his early 30s that you can have distributing music as long as he had its good taste for the next 30 fucking years, like Jim Johnston did.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
But Def Rebel being up, holy fuck. I mean, keep some of their shit. Give Roman Reigns head of the table back, please. And let a couple guys keep their Def Rebel music, but for the most part, man, get them the fuck out.
Literally. Goodbye. See ya. Don't come back.
Yeah, go back to making music for fucking Nickelodeon or Disney, whoever the fuck they were making music for. Please stay away from professional wrestling. For the love of
Oh,
God.
please. Literally.
Okay, moving on to some AEW stuff for the final bits of the news here today. Deonna Purrazzo, according to PW Insider, there have been talks, excuse me, in AEW of building a faction around Deonna Purrazzo. What made AEW's case even worse was the fact that they came out with an art or a graphic of their whole women's division. And oh my God, that division is way too big for that division to be way too ass.
Hmm.
Oh, brother,
Literally.
that division sucks. And that division is huge. I didn't realize it was that big.
It's great, and they have fucking phenomenal people, and
Yes,
they just don't do nothing.
absolutely nothing. Now, I'm happy to hear Deonna Purrazzo may be doing something, and obviously I'm going to give everything a chance.
Yeah.
But does Tony Khan have a good track record with building factions, especially
God.
women's factions? No.
Oh,
Look at
no.
the Outcasts, okay? That's all I got to say. That's how that went. Um Again, I'll give it a chance cuz I mean, there always is a chance, but oh brother, am I scared. Yeah, that is
Oh,
scary.
that's a very scary thought behind Tony Khan, and we'll see how it goes, man. Because if I had money to bet, I don't think I would bet it going well.
Me neither. All right, man. Speaking of more AEW people, Miro. Oh man.
Good old Miro. Oh,
According to Fightful Select, Miro has requested his AEW release. Wow. Well,
look at that.
also according to Fightful Select, there has been some consideration internally to use Miro in the AEW All In Casino Gauntlet. And he pitched working with John Moxley earlier this year. Miro and AEW were unable to get on the same page creatively, something that became a common occurrence for the two sides in recent years. So this is one thing. It's a double-edged sword. I get it
It is.
because on Miro's hand, he wants to protect his character. And if they
Yeah.
were going to pitch him working with John Moxley, we all know how Tony Khan views John Moxley. I guarantee
He
you
was
he pitched
good.
for Miro to lose to John
Oh
Moxley.
yeah.
Miro wants to protect his character. He doesn't want to come back and work with John Moxley because Miro was only given some opportunities on Collision because CM Punk allowed for that.
Hmm.
On Tony Khan's side, he sees this as Miro does not want to fucking work with the company and he does not want to work for the better of the company. And every time Darby Allin mentions crybaby guys from WWE that don't want to better the company, he's talking about a guy like Miro. I guarantee it.
Oh hell yeah, man! It's one of those situations where it's just a toxic relationship, man. One person doesn't want to be there,
Mm,
the other doesn't want to book them there. All that type of shit, man. I just don't think it worked well for the two parties. I don't think they worked well together, and I hope he gets his release granted, man. Because
yeah.
from Tony Khan's perspective, just let him go, dude. He's not gonna do nothing for you or your free company. You know you're not gonna do anything for him, so just let him go.
Which does suck because the Redeemer was one of Miro's greatest runs. Obviously, it
Oh
does
yeah.
not amount. Rusev Day. God, that was so good. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
That does not amount Rusev Day, but the Redeemer is probably it's up there. It's up there with one of his better runs. However, it does suck because he did pitch working with John Moxley, and obviously that was earlier this year before all this stuff. I think Miro, if they wanted to use him, could actually fit very well into the corrupt environment
Oh,
storyline that they're running right now. Another guy that would fit very well into this, I think, would be maybe a guy like Dijak if they wanted to add a big into there.
yeah. Definitely, I think that would work good. Yeah, Miro, I already started calling him that, but Miro
Get
would
ready.
he would look really good in that fucking group. He would, but I don't think I don't think anything worked out, man. So I would have put him in the group, but obviously they don't want to work with each other, both parties. So I hope Tony Khan is smart enough to do the sensible thing.
Yeah, he's a monster, bro. I would absolutely put him in the. He would add more legitimacy to how legit the group already is, But
Exactly. You
and
cut
then
Marina Shafir, legit ass group.
exactly, he could be walking around with a Shane McMahon jersey in a couple weeks. But
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. He might
so
as well just leave.
so this sucks, but again, it is a double-edged sword because I do get where both sides are coming from. I do. I get why I get why Miro wants to protect his character, but I also can see why, Tony Khan would maybe see that this guy, maybe gives off the vibes of a WWE guy who's just here to protect himself. But at the end of the day, I do get looking out for yourself because especially in the wrestling business, you got to look out for you because nobody else will.
Look at Ricky Starks. He was a team player, and look where it
Yeah.
got him.
Yeah.
It got him nothing. It literally got him nothing. And
Hey,
so all the people complaining about how goddamn Miro wasn't a team player,
yeah, you might as well
dog.
just start calling him that again, bro. It's over
Yeah,
with.
might as well. But like both parties have to show effort, and I don't
Yep.
think Tony Khan showed any. So why would he show any back? And if he did, some people show effort, nothing happens. Ricky Starks, there's so many other people in there that showed effort and never got anything. So what's the real incentive to?
Yeah, and I can't wait to hear Miro actually tell his story from AEW. And again, too, why would Miro show any effort when it almost seems like every time him and Tony Khan have a pitching party, it always ends up with Miro losing or putting somebody over. It's like I could see where his perspective where it comes to be as like, dude, do you just pitch for me to lose? Do you just want me to lose all the fucking time? Like, are you ever going to pitch for me to win anything here?
I'm not a Lance loser. I'm not gonna be happy with going out there losing every week. I want to have a career, buddy.
Yeah, I mean it I don't I could see why he gets upset. I could see why he gets upset. And again, we don't know the full story and that I'm very excited to hear, but but man, I mean, it's just it's a double-edged sword. It really is. It's a double-edged sword, and I could see why. But at the end of the day, I can see why Miro's upset because you got to look out for yourself, bro. And if Tony Khan's not going to look out for you, I could see where his trust starts to get lost.
Exactly.
So, Miro, somebody did ask Sap on Twitter if it's a possibility that Miro gets bought out, and Sap's response was 99.9% probably not. And at the end of the day, dude, Tony's gonna hold him. He's held him for long enough.
Mhm.
We know Tony's not a stranger to holding people. But at the end of the day, man, I think Tony's gonna hold him until his deal is up,
Oh, yeah.
and um, he better
He
hold.
lost Lucha Bros. He lost MCMG. He he's holding on to Miro.
Mm. Lost Ricky Starks again, like you said. Ricky
Mhm.
Starks was a fucking team guy, and all that got him was a fucking tent outside of the performance center. That's all that got him, and it's gonna get a
Exactly.
lot better in a little bit, but and I mean too, Tony's probably a little worried that another future guy could be out because every single week, all we hear about, obviously it hasn't been on the news in 2 weeks because it's the same exact story, but all we hear is WWE is chomping at the bits for Daniel Garcia.
And
So
he hasn't risen with AEW yet. He's probably gonna lose 2 more people,
yeah.
and he's not gonna just let go of a third. He's not. He should, but he's not.
But yeah, man, Miro requested his release from AEW, and will it be granted? To be honest, bro, probably not. And that just sucks for him.
No, that really does. I hope everything goes well with that. I hope that, well, probably he won't get, his release. I hope there's not much time left on that contract.
Yes. Alrighty. The final news here today on this edition of the news. AEW. AEW, man, according to Puck News, AEW is close to finalizing a package to renew AEW, or Warner Bros. Discovery is close to finalizing a package to renew AEW. Insiders say that a formal announcement could come as soon as next week, bearing any last minute changes. It looks like WWE. What the fuck am I talking about? It looks like AEW will be getting a 4-year deal with a 3-year guarantee and a 1-year option and $170 million per year. $170 million per year number floating around. Floating around that wrestling message boards is apparently in that ballpark. According to the perimeters of the agreement, AEW will air on TNT, TBS, and True TV twice a week. Meanwhile, AEW is also pitching another package primarily to broadcast channels. There's no timetable for when AEW will start to push that deal. And with that, um, yes, it seems that AEW matches will, like I said, air on TBS, TNT, and it looks like reruns could possibly air on True TV as well. And with that, um, with that, as far as Max is concerned, Dave Meltzer recently said those close to the AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery deal have configured that Max will be a part of the deal, although it is not detailed yet as to what form this will take. It seems like this could be a possible landing spot for AEW pay-per-views.
God, I hope so.
And with that, according to Meltzer as well, sources indicated this past week AEW Rampage be would not be continued with the new media rights deal. The third show will likely be called AEW Shockwave.
Ugh.
That would likely be the show shopped around to Fox and likely others. And Yeah, man. It looks like um the media rights deal will include Dynamite on TBS, Collision on TNT, Shockwave on FS1, Fox Sports 1, and reruns on True TV. Like I said, with Rampage not returning to the product, which will then lead, or which we will be getting about 5 hours. The speculation is we will be getting about 5 hours of AEW weekly, with Collision and Dynamite being the 2 hour shows and Shockwave being a 1 hour show. And we will, we still have no idea, to this day, to this date, what will happen with the AEW pay-per-views, although it is likely a destination spot for them is Max. Okay, so you're basically renaming Rampage to Shockwave because it's going to stay a 1 hour show, and it's probably going to stay something that nobody and their mother gives a fuck about.
Yeah, that's a great thing to try to sell to to Fox. Hey, you want to get this show that we're just renaming that Warner Brothers wouldn't pick up? They're picking up the rest of us, but they're not picking up this show. So will you guys? What a fucking brand pitch, man, for a fucking shittier sounding show. But don't know why they're doing that. Shockwave sounds ass. But other than that's good for them. I'm glad they're staying with Warner. They're making
Yeah.
money, for once, so that's good. So hopefully Collision moves. I would like that. Put Collision at Rampage's time spot, and if you want to do your Shockwave, go do it somewhere. I don't fucking care. No one's gonna watch that shit anyway. I feel bad for whatever network buys it. But and hopefully these pay-per-views go to Max, dude. I hope they do. I think they will. They kind of need to for this deal to be successful. That's kind of the deal sealer for me for how successful this deal was. Um, and then we'll just see when the deal finally gets announced and revealed.
Yes, and so AEW is guaranteed about $510 million guaranteed with the 3 years, with about 680 million if excuse me, if picked up for the fourth year. Um this
Good.
is great. This is great for AEW. This is great. They're getting paid. They're getting paid and to broadcast their shit. Obviously, we can just hope the television gets better, and we can hope Tony Khan does not go with the Vince McMahon mindset of, well, now I'm paid, so fuck you all, and I'm gonna continue booking for the sick fucks, and we're gonna
Oh,
continue to
yeah.
cream all over our couch as we fucking watch Beast Mortos versus Hologram. So
Hologram. Oh, good lord.
so, yeah, as we continue to watch Roosh, the Beast TARDIS, and and the Undisputed Kingdom take on and grizzled young veterans, can't forget them, and grizzled young veterans take on FT Runners and Hook.
Ugh.
Can
FT
we call them
shillings.
FT Riders, the career riders, the momentum
Like,
riders? Why do they always have to have a joint name with somebody who has momentum? When Adam Copeland came in, they were FT, rated FTR.
ugh.
When Punk came back, CMFTR. I mean, good lord, FT
They were
runners.
rated fucking FTRKO, like, dog. Like, can you just be a relevant tag team and just do it on your own? Because apparently not.
No,
But literally Dax was up at fucking 11 in the morning, I guess, fucking tweeting at JD like a fucking loser.
again?
So good old, yeah,
Oh
yeah, good
brother,
old Dax. Um,
tweeting at
and fucking
people at
JD.
11. Bro,
Ugh, like, dog, get a for a guy that doesn't shut up about his wife and kids, go spend time with them instead of
yeah,
your phone, buddy.
please.
But hopefully this deal goes out well. I really hope that the pay-per-views are on Max because that's the real deal sealer for me. Oh yeah,
Dude,
GR. Yeah, that was a thing too.
so um man. Yeah, so like I said, back to what I was saying, man. So I think this is great. You know, obviously AEW is getting paid, and obviously the news about Max. I've been waiting for that announcement for the better part of 4 fucking years. 4 years.
Hmm.
4 years I've been waiting for that announcement, and we're finally just now getting it, and hopefully it's something nice, hopefully it's a good deal, and I hope so. I hope so, man. I hope so. And yeah, so that's obviously great news for AEW. Nothing but great news for AEW. So I'm happy for them in that regard. I'm happy for them in that regard. And then obviously for Rampage, Rampage going away doesn't do anything for me because, and it's not even like Rampage is going away, because if you're going to add a 1 hour show called Shockwave, just because it's on FS1 is not going to make it any better. It's going to make it,
Yeah.
it's still a 1 hour show. That means it's going to be, you're not even going to have time to get into anything. And it's going to be just like the regular Rampage. We're going to see Nick Wayne versus Rocky Romero versus Kip Sabian versus the Beast Mortos. I mean,
Like, it's all it's
who,
just gonna be useless nothing matches from useless nothing people on the roster, and the occasional person you scream to be on Dynamite for once, and that's all it's gonna be.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna, we're gonna jump out of our boots to see, Yuka Sakazaki take on Taya Valkyrie. Oh boy.
Oh,
We're gonna get to
fucking A.
see uh FT runners take on GYV and Undisputed Kingdom. What?
God,
Um
fuck.
I mean, what it sucks. So honestly, I would be excited about Rampage going away, but from the sounds of it, it sounds like Rampage is getting a repackage. It's going to be called Shockwave now, and it's going to be an hour of bullshit and Beast Mordos. So that is that's that. And yeah, I mean the Max thing is good. The Max thing is good. Logan
Good old,
says that WWE 2K didn't give Dragon Lee springboard move in his base move set. Oh brother.
oh, good old 2K.
Yeah, and yeah, so it sounds good. I'm glad that AEW is getting paid. Like I said, my big concern is just let's hope that Tony Khan does not get his money and put the middle fingers up to all the people that have stayed loyal to his product. And let's like I said, let's just hope that he gets the money and figures I'm going to put on better television because these people who have been here for the past 5 years deserve it. Hopefully,
Yeah, we're
probably not. Probably not, but hopefully that's the case, and hopefully he does not move in that Vince McMahon direction. But the way Tony Khan has been lately, he probably will be stepping in that Vince McMahon direction, and I can absolutely see that being the case because that is what he showed before he got the money. So when he gets the money, he'll probably feel like, well, if I was doing so wrong on television, I wouldn't have got this big money deal. That's probably the
mm-hmm.
move set he's going to be moving with, and that is not good for us because the television product is probably going to be getting even more fucking random, and he's probably going to now have the money to overflood the roster even more. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so hopefully he doesn't continue to move with his dream match over story, but that will probably be the case.
Oh, 100%, more than likely.
So yeah, man. That's everything we got here today for you guys, man. So with that, thank you guys so very much for joining us, man, on today's episode of news. Today has been episode 232 of the news, man. As yeah, man, that is basically everything here today that we got on this episode of news, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Like I said on today's episode of the news, thank you guys, man. And also, too, forgot to mention, thank you guys. If you guys are new, man. Thank you guys for stopping by, checking us out. We did get some new viewers in the chat. Bro. Anna, we got in the chat, and Haseen. So thank you guys so very much for joining us, bro. And as to the OGs, man, whether you guys made it here live on the live chat, Logan, my biggest hater, well, as always. My man Naysayers, Durante, thank you guys so very much for joining us, man. Whether you guys were here now or a part of the Replay Mafia, my guys, JT, thank you guys very much. Always a pleasure for my Johnny.
Nice. Okay.
And that is going to do it for this edition of the news. Thank you guys so very much, as always, for joining us, man. Thank you guys. We love you guys. This has been episode 232 of the news. And with that, please like, subscribe, and we'll see you all on Monday with NHP Unscripted.
Peace.